5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hey, YouTubers and friends, how y'all doing out there? A lot better than me, I hope. I tell you, like, I'll get to it here in a bit, but we have some really good guests tonight. We got my two co-hosts, as always, my partner in crime, Toledo Jazz, and Dano, that's right, the Mano, are with me tonight with some really cool family from PA who swing the beeper and finds all kinds of cool stuff. We'll be right back with no, not the Backstreet Boys. We'll be right back. Oh, what I want to do. We'll be right back with the Backwoods Boys. Don't go away. All right, everybody. Thank you for hanging in there with me. I'm gonna have to get rid of you guys up there and bring my Skype in there. Sorry, hate to do it to the chatters, but I'm gonna do it. We have the Backwoods Boys from us. They're a gang of metal detectorists from PA that find all kinds of neat stuff. But let me first get my two co-hosts in here real quick. Jesse, Dano, how y'all doing?
Good job with the cord running, sir. You did it.
It took 2 extension cords to get to my computer and then one other to get to the router. And if it wasn't for my neighbors next door, we wouldn't be here right now. So thank you very much, Steve's mom, for letting me pirating your power on your back porch. But they have a big generator.
To it. We were having a blast listening to Ed go through.
While you were in my pocket on Skype,
right,
right. Jeez, you should have seen it, guys. Oh, and Zangold 101. Hey, everybody, check out his channel. Subscribe to him. Also, our good friend MacGyver, Muscle Machines. Go visit his channel. Subscribe to him. He's below the 1,000 subscriber mark. Show him a little flash in your pan love. Hey, everybody out there, Dennis. Hey, J3B, how you doing up there in Ontario? Hey, Terry, how you doing? Dennis Dayton, who's that guy? Oh, yeah, Dennis Dayton. How you doing, Dennis? And Don from Washington, Bob, John Shaw, Rasta Man Ralph from over on the other side of the pond. The Hook and Hookette are here. Hey, Paul Cooper, how you doing? Good to see ya. Lucky Ducky Dog Thomas Folks is in the house. Our moderator of the century, Mr. Lodak. Thank you for being here as always. Our good friend Ron from Ron for the Hills is here. Hey, everybody, my brot's in the
Little
house.
Iron Maiden going on back there somewhere.
Yeah.
I can't help it, but every time I see that name, I think of Run for the Hills.
One of those words or names that when you see it, you don't say it, you sing it.
And my foster brother, James Van Cleve's in the house. Thank you very much. Angry Prospector. Who else is here?
So you pushed Mercy over to my laptop.
John Patron. You're on your laptop.
I know, but my chat room is
your phone or your
my laptop.
Tablet.
My laptop. I'm on my laptop now. Doing both.
Knowing you, I'd be surprised if you didn't have all three devices up and running doing something.
my phone's charging.
Oh,
but I tell you what, electronics and the internet, all that crap sucks.
It can, especially when you're
depend way too much on it.
Hey, it only took me about a half an hour to get it. When did it go dark? About 10 till. It was like right after I was like 12 minutes and 20. Boop. Oh shoot! Damn it! Really, Murphy? Really? But you know what I always say, Mr. Tim Grimes. The show must go on. Okay, enough of that. Why don't we get our friends in here since they've been with us since pre-production and had to suffer through being in my back pocket on Skype.
Hey, we started the show a half hour ago. They just couldn't see it.
Them. They were having a blast.
we were starting the show a half hour ago.
All right. Yeah, I'll bring them more up front and center.
There you go.
There you go. How you all doing tonight, guys?
Hey, how's it going? Good.
Doing good. We're doing
good. Good, Pops. Good, Redneck. I want to call you guys by your names. And Jacob, Sean, Charles. Would you prefer your nicknames or real names tonight, guys?
I don't think it really matters.
Yeah, because I'm not going to remember which one's which.
Hey, you have confused.
Hey, you with the hat on backwards.
Not the other one.
Everybody, we have Charles, which goes by the name of Repo Man. He just waved to you there. And the other two guys in the other side, that's Sean, and otherwise known as Pops, and Redneck, aka Jacob. Thank you for going through all the Murphiness with me before the show, but it's greatly appreciated. And now YouTube's messing with me. I'm not dropping any packets, and I'm agreeing on my software, but YouTube's pulling it again. So if there's any buffering, people, please bear with it. I'm in the orange on my on my connection with YouTube, but you know, I'm sure it will clean up and get back in the green. After all, we're on prime time right now, and a lot of people are hitting the YouTubers servers. So how long have you guys been metal detecting?
So I've only been for about 4 years. I got pops into it maybe what, a year and a half ago, 2 years ago. Yep. And then Repo Man, how long have you been?
Yeah, and me personally, it's probably been 30 years or more, like since I was a little guy. So long time, long time.
Now, was that just playing with it once in a while since for that long, or serious digging?
I was serious digging. Sometimes summer, I mean, I'd go out there as soon as the parents would leave, be out for 8 or 9 hours and head on back. Pop, weekend guy, and Repo Man.
Yeah, Repo Man. As a kid, like I just went out when my dad went out on the weekends, and then of course life happens. You get married, stuff like that. So detecting kind of goes to the side. But I hooked up with the Backwoods boys there about a year ago now, I guess.
Yeah. Yep.
And we've been like pretty hardcore ever since. So.
Now there's a total of 5 of you, right?
Yes, that is correct.
Now three are family, 3 are Yoders, right?
4.
4. Oh yeah, the oldest one that just got his new nick.
That's right.
I forget it already. Doggone it. And blonde's coming out on me. Now you, Jacob, Sean, well, okay, Pops, Redneck, Hound Dog. Who's Hound Dog?
That's the one.
And what's the other?
J-Hole.
J-Hole, that's right. Hound Dog and J-Hole. And then the 5th is Repo Man.
Yes, that's me. I'm the outcast.
Well, it looks like you all have a good time while you're out detecting. Now, do you guys do little like competitions like, oh, I got this. Well, you only got nails? Ha ha ha. Or pull tabs? Which, do they call you pull tabs pops, Sean?
No, typically, when we're out there, I get to watch these guys pull some pretty awesome stuff from the ground while I'm pulling signals 5 feet away that are nails and aluminum cans and pull tabs. Yeah, that's pretty big.
Nah, don't get them wrong.
Somebody's got to dig that stuff out of the way. No, right? Somebody's got to get it out of the way.
Somebody's got to hold the camera most of the time. So that's typically
oh, you're the cameraman then, huh? I understand fully. Being a camera guy sure cuts into our prospecting time, doesn't it, Dano?
Yeah, it does. If you're trying to video it, it takes better than probably a 30 a day.
I think that's how they keep from digging all the targets. They keep you busy filming, so while they keep metal detecting, you're like, hey.
Oh, we gotta film this one live. Pops, keep filming. But I got a strong signal here.
Yeah, but look.
There's definitely been a few times where I will less than gingerly set the detector down. I'm like, the 5th time after like 20 minutes, I'm like, come on. What am I going to
You're like that guy you go fishing with and everybody catches fish but you.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Like I could have a terrible swing, and I could drive every time into the woods, and all I gotta do is have one good stroke on one hole, and I'm still playing.
Well, and there you go. All you gotta do is hit that one.
They're
gonna drool forever because you got it. Yeah, I'm looking for that nugget myself.
Little baby head size nugget.
Oh no, I want a baseball size. That's my dream.
Nice.
You know, really, there's got to be one out there somewhere. It can't all be gone.
Just a matter of finding it.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm saying hi to some people in the room. Again, MacGyver Muscle Machines is in the house. Again,
Yep.
if you're new and didn't hear me give them a pun or a shout out, go visit Triple M's YouTube page, subscribe. Actually, anyone who's part of the family here at Flash in Your Pan and Tuesday Night Hangout Lives, check their channels out. If you see something you like, please subscribe. Even if you don't, please subscribe. Even though I don't condone sub for sub or whatever, but if you like it and it interests you, go for it.
Yeah, go check it out.
So do you guys have a collective bucket list that you guys want to do?
Ooh.
Ooh, he says.
Got to rise out of that one.
Yeah.
I'd say for the three of us, I mean, I can at least speak for Repo Man and I, kind of competing for that real.
Ah.
Yeah.
Pops
Ooh.
is really trying for that 2-cent piece. Yeah, I'm chasing that. In two pulled, like, not even feet away, and I just can't seem to get it.
Keep trying.
That's it. Keep playing.
I keep looking for that nugget too.
I
mean, if you don't have a goal, right? What's the point?
Right.
You
Problem
know?
with prospecting is you bring home a lot of shiny rocks that ain't worth nothing.
Well, yeah, but they're pretty.
Yeah, they're pretty.
they're pretty.
They're pretty.
They might be leaverites, but they're pretty. I got a yard full of them.
We had a
But what about the relics we found? Bottles and wagon wheels and all kinds of stuff and metal detectors. We all three got them,
Spark
and we're all
plugs and
part of the
forks
same
and knives.
family. That's why we've had these guys on and others. Jocelyn,
I got a question here from somebody in the chat room.
There you go.
Salmon King wants to know, Backwoods boys, you guys gold detect primarily coin shooting or what?
Coin shooting. I can speak for all of us when I say coin shooting. That's what we're mainly looking for.
I have to agree.
Bonus.
Yeah. So what's been your best coin so far?
Oof. That's a rough one. For me, right now, I'd have to go with either one of the colonial coppers from America or one of my tribes.
Yeah. That's cool. No, I and I didn't mean value-wise, but because sometimes cool finds don't really have a lot of monetary value, but it's such a cool find that it's like your biggest treasure. I have rocks like that.
Was it the belt plate or something, or what was it? Oh, the breastplate. The breastplate. Union soldier's breastplate. Yeah, that was right out the side.
Oh, that's a really cool find.
Oh yeah.
But you don't shoot for coins and relics, bullets and musket balls and like chest plates and belt buckles and stuff?
No, where we are, that stuff's slim and far between. Coins are really what we're aiming for, but I really just got lucky with that breastplate. It was maybe 50 or 60 feet right off the side of our house.
Oh, cool.
Now,
geographically in PA, without being specific, are you in southeast, northeast, southwest, northwest?
We are in the far southeast corner of Pennsylvania.
Oh, okay. So you're fairly close to, let me see, Bose in Maryland, I believe. Ain't that on your southern border, Maryland?
It's only a couple miles away.
Okay.
Yeah, Bo's not far, and Jocelyn's maybe like 2 hours away, something like that. They're all relatively close. You have Jason, the quarter hoarder. He's about an hour from here.
Oh, cool, cool.
It's,
Yeah, I saw some of Jason when he was on Andy O'Neill's show on Facebook. Seemed like a really cool guy.
Yeah, he's pretty outstanding.
Have you gone out hunting with any of them? I thought you went out with Jocelyn, I believe,
Yes, we
and
did
Drew.
Jocelyn.
Been out with Aquajigger?
Not yet. It's I'd love to. I think we should get that done. I would love to hunt with Aquajigger. I don't
yeah,
know.
that'd be cool.
I think that would be cool to hunt with him. Even bottle digging or anything like that, surface searching like he does, I think is really cool. So
I've been getting into Bo's caving videos
Oh, yeah?
because I used to like a little bit of spelunking when I was younger.
Mhm.
So, but still, all of it, bottle digging, relic hunting. I like it when I find fossils and arrowheads out on the stream. I get stoked. So, speaking of that, we need to get you guys on the stream. Come to Gold Rush Days with Fossick, and I know Patrick and Sue and Jen put on their are chapters really big metal detectorists, and they put on some outstanding hunts with some incredible find opportunities. Bob Dip has Green Castle ? That don't mean nothing to me. Does it mean anything to you guys?
Not to me.
Yeah, not to me.
me too.
I don't know, Bob.
What's the question?
Green Castle.
No, I see it, but I'm asking Bob. What's the question? I don't. Reword it. Maybe we'll get it.
Familiar with White Castle?
Yeah,
Yep, I know what White Castle is. It's a clean out.
Yeah. White Castle.
Colon scrubber there.
You know it.
Now, what was your scariest time out detecting?
Nope, he laughed and turned his head. Here we go with one of them stories.
This is going to be a
Must
good
have
story.
because I really don't have anything on that one.
Oh, really? 'Cause mine happened with you, Repo Man.
Oh man. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, we went out and knocked. We were just door knocking, having no luck. And one of those days where we would spend a few hours out door knocking trying to get permissions, and then would go home about a few hours later after hunting something. And I guess we saw this really nice house up on this little hill. And we went up the driveway and knocked on the door. And I don't know, it seemed pretty threatening from behind. They never opened the door. They kind of just yelled at us, asking, who's there? Where are they? Trying to figure out where we were on the front porch. Asked if we wanted said metal detecting, and they were like, oh, no, we don't. We were like, oh, we look for coins. They were like, oh, no, we don't have any. And so we quickly got out of there.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Back to Bob Dip. Yeah, Bob Dip says Green Castle is southeastern PA.
Yeah, if it is, I'm not familiar with it.
Yeah, I'm not familiar with it either.
Me too.
Guess it's not in our southeastern part.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's impressive. Yeah.
Oh, I had a question here.
This area is awesome. It's so rich in history, and with a lot of traffic and a lot of major routes between Philadelphia, Harrisburg, Baltimore, DC. You can find just about anything here, and not even 7 miles away was the Brandywine battlefield. That was, Rev War stuff. So, but it's really hard to get permissions out there. You almost have to get an invite. That area is pretty. Most of those folks out there are pretty well-to-do and have gated properties and things like that. So it's really difficult unless you know someone who kind of drops your name, get an invite. That's about the only way that's going to happen.
Guys, argue that word. One of the best places for metal detecting, in my opinion, in the U.S. I mean, yeah, New England has some good stuff, but PA, we've got some real nice colonial out here.
I'll agree with you.
A lot of history went through Pennsylvania, from the get-go. I mean, a lot of rich history, meaningful history went through Pennsylvania.
Yeah,
a lot of
so when you guys said you were mostly into coin shooting and stuff, I was kind of going, wow, they're in a really rich history. They're part of a country where there's a lot of history. I'm surprised that's not what you go for. But I understand that's one of the biggest problems too, is getting permission for those kinds of sites. Definitely not on battlefields,
It is. It's always the hardest part of the whole hobby. I always said, but a lot of the places we get into are 1700s properties. It is awesome out here.
Yep.
Now, okay, here
the oldest place I get into is a house built in the late 1800s, and that's like my front yard.
we have 2 questions in the chat room. One from Ronald. What is your favorite metal detector? And okay, MacGyver, don't get mad at me if I'm wrong, but I think his name's Jeff. But MacGyver Muscle Machines asks, what kind of metal detectors do you have?
All right, so I guess Repo Man, you go ahead and start, and we'll follow you.
All right, so ever since I was a young guy, I've always been a whites guy, and I started with the old 5900 Coin Master series that Whites had back in the 80s. But I now work with a Whites MXT All Pro. I have the 13-inch DieTech double D coil on it, so it's a pretty good setup. I use the Whites pinpointer. That's just me.
Is that the blue one? The blue box one? The Whites, your first one?
Yeah, it was the old blue box with the analog.
I got one.
Oh, I had an old Coin Master like that.
At the time, it was a great machine.
It worked. It was just recently serviced by Whites.
Yeah, sure, yeah.
So I haven't taken it out yet. I think I paid like $20 for it in an auction.
Wow, what a steal!
So, yeah.
I've had minimal experience with machines. The only product I've ever used has been a Garrett product, and I'm using the Ace 350 right now. But
the one I use.
My favorite detector is one with fully charged batteries. Other than that,
yeah, I use the Garrett Ace 250, and I mean, I strongly support Garrett. I mean, I've always used that. Sometimes I use his 350. I used the Garrett Ace 250 with the Nell Tornado coil. I want to say the 13 by 14 inch or the 12 by. Remember, it's massive.
yes.
I love live.
Live is the best.
I had to mute everyone out there because my wife just came up and said, "Guess what I am?" Kitty. Yeah, you got that. That's right. You're hearing all of it. Our friends out there, they weren't though. I'm like, I'm live. Oh well, you live entertainment for you.
Yeah.
If Murphy don't show up, someone else might with the cat. So all we need is another beeping cat.
Oh, you got somebody wanting a cup. James Van Cleef wants one of your cups. Coffee mugs.
Oh yeah, one of these.
Show 'em the other
I'll be making and finding out how much it will cost for bulkage and getting on some prices about that, and some ball caps.
Some window stickers.
Window stickers. I'm working on some merch for us. Geez, even the Backwoods boys have shirts,
Yeah,
and
no
we
kidding.
don't. What's wrong with
Look at
those?
all three of them standing up. Yeah, check it out. Check it out.
Look at this shirt.
You gotta show the names on the back.
Oh, you got your names on the back.
Oh, cool. Cool.
Remember that, Ed.
802
remember that,
South. 802 South. Beep, 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 beep. Delphus. Beep. You could put Ed in the Shed Marvin, or Ed in the Shed Marvin on the back of mine.
And Toledo Jess on the back of mine.
And Dano the Mano on the back of Dad's.
That's a lot better than Ragnad, man.
So like prospectors who prospect for gold, we have our favorites, and it seems like it's the same with you guys. You have your favorites, and typically the first machine you learn on, right? I mean, or does it improve?
For me, it improved. I mean,
Well, I mean, but you stay with white.
that's true. I've stayed with the White's products, and I have nothing against anybody else and any of their products. I'm personally unfamiliar with them. I just grew up with Whites and stuck with them the whole way. So
Yeah, Garrett.
Right,
Once again, it's what equipment works for you.
Right, and it boils down to that. Like with us, you know, I like I said, I have a Garrett 350. I find trash in my yard, you know, but
Ace 250 and some old Garrett Huntmaster 12 or something like that. 10, I don't know. It's a dinosaur. Not quite as much of a dinosaur as the one you were talking about, Repo Man, but
yeah, that old 5900, huh?
But I found my first silver with it too in my own backyard.
Oh, nice.
So, yeah, I forget the date. It was a dime. Dug it up with my grandson. It's cool.
I found a Kennedy half in my front yard. Ooh.
That's cool. The 350's been really good for me. I mean, heck, I think I got two what are they? Walking Liberty $half in like 4 months. I found the seated.
Yeah, cool.
And I want to say the one Walking Liberty was probably at least like 7 inches or so down, maybe, if I can recall correctly. There was the other one was only like 2.5 inches, but it definitely can locate some deep targets.
Yeah, I keep finding, you know, I've gone over my yard a few times, and I keep finding more targets, so I got to dig them up, right?
Yeah, dig everything.
I got to clear the yard out before I can move on.
That's
Ronald's yelling again.
Yeah.
Ronald's yelling another question, guys. We're not that chat room, Ronald. He's yelling, do you have any problems with recognizing the tones of different metals?
not here. Especially, I mean, with the Garrett, you can kind of tell, especially now after using the Garrett Ace series for so long. I can tell when there's something that's aluminum or nickel in the hole. I can tell when there's like one of those really high conductive materials down in the hole. Iron, that's a given. That's the lowest one out there. So I have no problem being able to tell the different metals down in the hole. How about you?
Yeah, like with me, I could tell the different sounds, but I couldn't tell you what was there. You know, but I know which sounds excite me. You know,
Right.
Yeah.
So, but I don't know what they are.
I think it all depends on what's in the ground. I mean, if it's a really like dense area of many different metals, you're going to have a hard time regardless of what machine you're using and what coil you have on or whatever. But
what
with my large,
the part that gets me is the signals that disappear.
Yeah, I hate those.
It's a strong signal. Oh, there it is, and then all of a sudden, wait a minute, where'd it go?
Ghost signals.
Wait, what ghost was down there that would signal? Come on, it's electronics.
I know what you mean. I hate it myself.
And then, like I said, I've been working on my yard, right? And it's a small yard, so I don't want to dig a lot of holes at once. I got to give it time to heal. The grass, get back in. Then I hit it again. I continuously find more trash, more stuff too. I'm starting to find little pieces of jewelry, not so many nails anymore. That's probably because I got them all up already.
Jacob hits the front yard so often, so much that the front yard usually looks like a twister mat.
Yeah, one of those patchwork quilts or something.
Not anymore. It's gone.
Everything's out of there. But
Gone over it so many times, and I haven't gotten a single signal out there anymore.
The pastor of our church gave him permission to do their yard, and I think you remember this?
Yeah.
It's hard to say, oh no, but he must have had like 60 like gray patches like in the yard, I think.
Right.
It was in the middle of a drought.
It was a learning experience.
Yeah, Jared said that sometimes those ghost signals, whatever
or like
it was
your
that you
spade or something,
got stuck to your shovel, and that's why it disappeared. I'm not talking about those. I'm talking the ones that you find, in the ground, and then you go, you move or something else, you swing over it again, and it's gone. It's not signal's not hitting anymore. I haven't dug nothing up yet. It just disappears.
Well, Rico, you had that one target you were digging.
Right. I was going to say something. Yeah, I was going to say something. The commenter was right, actually. I swung over a signal, dug it up. The signal was gone. I couldn't believe it. I looked all over the place, pinpointer, wasn't picking anything up. I looked at my knife. Like, I use a shovel to dig my main hole and then use a knife to get in there to do some intricate work. And the knife actually had a ring, on it, which it was an older ring. So, like, the weak spot where I guess they tack it together or whatever, it was actually like stuck to my knife. I couldn't believe it. I actually brought it over to the boys here and showed it to them.
It's all on video.
Yeah,
that would have been cool.
Right on, cool. Now I'm gonna get into a thing now. In our lifestyle of prospecting and stuff, things are different east of the Mississippi than they are west of the Mississippi. Being a native of Western United States, I kind of lean on, well, I'm not recreational, I'm not hobbyist, I'm small scale, or as I prefer to call it, a lifestyle. Now that you're on YouTube and you're gaining phenomenal ground from just a couple months ago with your channel, you were 600 or so, and now you're over 1,000. On to that 2,000 mark. I told you, Jacob, you'll get there pretty quick. Congratulations, hitting that 1,000 mark and beyond.
Yes, thank you very much.
Yeah, that all has been a result of some really awesome and like new relationships with other channels and catching up with some of the other diggers in the area that are also YouTubers, yourself, and just building those relationships. And it just happens to be working out right now. We're getting a lot of support from people who are supporting those who have an interest, and it's just been a lot of fun.
Yeah, I hope you don't mind if I thank them by name, but the Relic Recoverist.
Oh yeah, Jocelyn, great.
We've got Brian Allen from Taking 925. Trying to get everybody here. Oh, Jason. Yeah, the quarter hoarder.
Yeah.
And then the last one was Adventures in Dirt. And
is that Ken?
Yeah. They all helped us out tremendously.
Well, next time you talk to Jason, put a little bird in his ear, because I was gonna invite him to be on the show sometime in a few months.
I'll message right after this.
Excellent. Yeah, the community is phenomenal. And you'd be, what?
I said, I wonder if he's watching. You know, we don't know who's watching until they actually
talk.
Yeah, until they chime into the chat.
True. He
So
might be. He might have followed one of theirs.
All you people, that's how we know you're there, is if you chat. So if you want to chat, we love it. We'll respond as best we can, you know.
And if we don't, somebody in the room will.
Right.
Yeah, or if you're watching this later as a pre-recorded show, please comment below, and we might get back to it into another episode, like the following week or something, or we'll get them back on and Murphy won't show up this time. So
yeah, right. You keep believing that, Ed.
Hey, I gotta believe in something. Come on, guys. Murphy, stay in there. I got a lock on Murphy's door, so hopefully he'll stay there. Oh my goodness, sakes alive.
So what are you guys' plans for this summer? I mean, it's getting about that time, isn't it?
Yeah, it's getting right around there. Things are starting to warm up. So I think I myself have some different plans for the channel for this summer. Gonna add something a little different. Hopefully, this is a plan in the making. If you've watched Aqua Chigger, you know he puts on those glasses and he'll start swimming around in the creeks and stuff and find stuff. And you know,
that's right.
I try that out. You know,
that's really cool what he does there. Yeah. I can't watch it myself. I get seasick. I do, because he'll hold the camera on the water for a while, and I get seasick from it. So I can't. It's hard for me to watch those. You know.
Well, you get motion sickness if we move you watch anything where the camera's moving around.
I can't play first person video games because that happens. I can, I can't.
No wonder you play so much poker.
Yeah, that's why I play poker. Over.
Of course. No, I think it would be really cool to check out some of the older swimming holes. I've been talking to some of the folks here, even my dad, who's almost 60, and places here in the area where they're old quarry. Of course, there swimming holes around here that are out in the middle of farms or in the woods. Kids used to go there for years, and people would swim. So I think we'd find all kinds of stuff. It wouldn't be very, but it would just see what
like old frog ponds and stuff.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I think our plans for this summer would be definitely meeting with the Relic Recovery. That's definitely on our radar. Meeting back up with Digging 925. That's radar.
Civil War reenactment.
Oh yeah, Civil War reenactments. But
I saw some pictures of you two dressed up in your uniforms and stuff. Must have been a Civil War reenactment.
Yes, it probably was. I go to a lot of those.
You guys might want to think about coming up to Fawcett in June. It will be fun. I mean,
yeah, you might even want to come to Gold Rush too during Labor Day. I guarantee a good time. That's all I'll say.
Right. It's a lot of it's seated metal detecting, but they got some good stuff. You win some nice prizes.
You got day and night hunts.
They got a night hunt, which is fun. But it's open for you. Something to do for a weekend.
Definitely. Don't need to worry about being a GPAA member. We got your guest spot handled. So.
Oh, cool.
Now Jesse usually asks this question, but have you been approached out in public by a viewer or subscriber? Hey, I know you, you're redneck.
Yes. Yep. No, it's been we just had about two we're at a McDonald's, and one of the kids behind the counter goes, "Are you the guys with the channel?"
The channel.
Yeah, it was a local guy, but I think the farthest we were on vacation last year down in South Carolina, and we walk into the convenience store on Sunset Beach Island, and the guy's like, "Where's J-Ho?" And I'm like, "What? How do you?"
What? Oh yeah, that's really cool.
Well, that kind of happened to Jesse at Crater of Diamonds in Arkansas.
As a matter of fact, I was shooting a little video of what I was doing, right? How you process the material at Crater. And I'm doing that. And this guy goes, "Oh, I know who you are. Yeah, I know that voice." So that's kind of cool. So when you do stuff like this, that's something that you have to be aware is going to happen at some point. You may not believe it, that it will happen, but at some point it's going to happen. If you're a YouTuber out there and you're putting your face out and you've got subscribers, someone's going to come up to you one day and is going to go, "I know you." And it may not always be at the time you want, but
Well, for me, most of the time, except with like Chris Dyer, I was at the Swank then, and it's like, "I know you, you're Ed Marvin. I've seen all your videos." I was just about ready. Okay, now, as long as you don't say, "I'm your #1 fan," we'll be all right. But yeah, I've met people down by Cincinnati. "Oh, I saw your video on those classifiers. Want to see mine?" and stuff like that. Or like Karrie Tucker, when I saw her at the Gold Show, and that was a good time. I was getting burnt out and I kind of needed a pat on the back, and she's like, "You got me into gold prospecting." And like with guys, I've said, "Oh, so I have another wife mad at me." I couldn't say it to Karrie, but I'm like, "Oh, cool." And now she got the fever, and she's a dredging mama, I tell you. Finding that gold, it's literally changed her life, I think. We'll find out. But I know at like when I'm about ready to throw in the towel and say, "Man, I'd rather be digging than setting up cameras and thinking about camera angles and this and that," someone recognizes you or gives you a comment that makes it go, "Yeah, okay, this is why I do it. I remember now."
Well, digging, just being out there and finding all this stuff that's been lost, like for the last couple hundred years, and in your case, gold has just been there forever, just no one knew it. That's really why we do it, because we enjoy just going out, spending time together as a family. We're uncovering things that someone hasn't seen or dropped, 150, 200 years ago. When a kid loses, or somebody loses 50 cents in, say, 1920, like Charles, you said that day, that's probably their lunch money for the entire week.
Right.
Yeah.
But the piece is that one is the whole reason is just getting out and detecting it, and you have such a blast spending time together. Two, the channel is a perk, just being able to share it with people. And then someone approaches you and says, "Hey, I know you," it becomes real, like this tangible connection with people that it's really satisfying.
Right, and then when they go, "Oh man, I learned so much from you." Now all of a sudden you realize, I'm actually doing something that's helping. Right. That's a whole nother level.
Well, they don't want to ask for advice, because I can tell them how to dig up cans.
And pull tabs.
Yeah, they ask me. I say, When they ask me for advice, I say refer to Ed.
One day, Redneck here, Jacob and I were out digging, and he was finding one silver coin after another, and I wasn't finding anything. And he's like, I can hear his machine going bing, 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 bing. He's like, Dad, come on over here and dig it. I said, there's no way I'm reeling in your fish.
I remember that. Do you remember what I dug up? Was that the barber? No, it was a standing Liberty quarter in that hole that I opened.
Yeah, he was, and I caught a fish and let him reel it in. I was like, there's no way that's happening, man.
Oh, no.
Chris from Dire Prospecting on YouTube, he's like, I don't remember ever saying that to you, Ed. And,
Wrong
a different Chris Dye.
Right. So, are we going to open the phones up tonight, Ed, or no?
Yeah, let me take a quick commercial break and get one of those out of the way. Mr. Tim Grimes, are you in the house still? That will decide on which commercial I play. Oh well, we'll be opening up the phone lines for any questions for our guests, even hypothetical ones from far, far away, or after this message from one of our sponsors. All right, this portion of the show is brought to you by our friends over at GoldProspectorSpace.com. It's the best forum, best community for those in gold prospecting, mining, treasure hunting, metal detecting. If you're out there finding it, it's the place for you. And don't forget to catch them every Sunday at 7:30 Eastern Time for Prospectors Radio, and West Coast Wednesday at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. And where else? I was watching Repo Man playing around on the cameras.
Yeah, we're messing.
Flying his West Side sign or something.
He said, I didn't think anybody was watching.
Yeah, we were all watching.
The world saw you, buddy. It's all right. It's all right.
Throw my gang singles up.
He belongs to the gang of the Backwoods boys.
That's right.
All right, phone lines are open. Give us a call if you have any questions.
We love to answer them. So.
Let's do it.
Yeah, put that phone to use. If it don't get used more, I just might have to talk to our sponsor about it. So call. Doggone
Call now.
So in the meantime, Ed, I forgot to tell you, or maybe I did tell you, got some new donations for our Take a Bet Prospecting project.
Oh, cool.
Nice, point from a friend of mine, Robert Ratcliffe, out in Texas. He does some really nice work as far as napping.
You told me about that. Stuff. He naps like fetishes and stuff.
Yeah, he does a lot of eccentrics.
Eccentrics? I thought that was rich, crazy people.
Well, no, not eco, not no. Yeah.
Or that's
what
eccentric, right?
right. That's what it's called because it's weird stuff. It's odd shapes. It's artistic.
Like abstract.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. He does animals also. You know.
Oh, cool.
He's doing this massive axe right now. The handle that he made for it was just unbelievable. He's putting a big old map head on it.
Is that what he's donating?
No.
Oh.
No,
So.
just a point, you know, that he napped.
Oh, speaking of that, guys, if you know any veterans that need a release from whatever may be haunting them, you know, we have a Take a Vet prospecting project started. We've been working on now for going over a year now.
Yeah, we started last year.
And send them our way if you could think of anyone who'd be interested in getting a pan wet on us with the help of some sponsors. Excellent news, Jesse. Excellent.
We got stuff happening at Gold Rush Days this year. It should be fun.
Yeah, it should be.
Yep. It's coming. It's coming together, little by little. It's coming together.
So, what do you do for research in the off season?
Well,
do your research.
I use historicmapworks.com, and I look up, you know, this area or different townships, and I can find old maps and over modern maps.
Right.
But pretty much because of where we live, you can just drive down the road and just knock on people's houses during the off season and be like, hey, during the spring and summertime, do you mind if we come back and do some metal detecting and, of course, some other stuff. But I mean, we could just drive down the street and get a few permissions sometimes when the day's right, you know.
Right. You ever have people come up and ask you to find something for them?
Oh yeah, on Facebook usually they'll message us.
I mean, like maybe you come up to a door, you knock on a door, and do you mind if you metal detector? They go, oh, you know what? No, I don't mind. And as a matter of fact, I lost this or lost that. Could you see if you could find that for you? You get people to do that for you? At you? For you?
They lost or property pins, where the market are, they're not sure where it's at. We had
okay.
Tagged us in Facebook. Whenever someone seems to lose something, they tag the Backwoods boys locally here on like the message boards. And we got tagged, and they said, hey, can you help us find our son's cell phone? It was a brand new iPhone 7, I think.
That's right.
And yeah, they tagged us. We got back to them. We went out in the field. They've been looking all day. We were there for about an hour and 3.5 and we
found it?
Cell phone, so I guess he wasn't grounded.
I found it. And let's see, the one lady said that she had lost her wedding ring. We went to go find it in this field. Never found the ring, but I ended up finding a completely different 14-karat gold ring.
Oh wow, cool. We have a caller on the line. Hello, caller. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
That's MacGyver Muscle Machines. I got a message that said call, so I called.
Right on.
Well,
I'm
good
just
to
kidding.
See you follow directions.
Yeah. Hey, I do have maybe a question. What was you guys' scariest find with your detectors?
Like a bomb or something like that, or a sleeping bear?
Well, it could be. If that would certainly qualify.
Yeah, I would think so.
I don't know what these guys say, but it was definitely a little creepy when Redneck found the Civil War breastplate.
Oh yeah.
Within minutes, he found the name badge, and then he found, I guess, in the breastplate had like a hole through it. Looked like a bullet hole through it.
Ooh.
He also found like a couple of the what are they, 3-ring rounds in there in the
mini
hole?
balls, yeah.
Mini balls in the hole, like in that general same like 5-6 foot space, and I'm thinking like maybe we should just stop. But that was just
yeah, because my thinking is the next thing you would have probably found would have been some bones.
Who knows?
Yeah.
Yeah, that definitely would have been scary.
No doubt. You have dig up Slim's brother, you know. Oh man.
I just caught that, Ed.
There's another YouTuber. He's huge. He has a partner that's a skeleton he calls Slim. That's one of his characters in his videos. Jeff Williams. Search him on YouTube. Check him out. He's pretty funny. That's where Slim came from. So we have, I think they might have answered this before, but Kim Casperson asks, what's your favorite detector?
Oh yeah. For me, H250 with the Nell tornado coil, and that's subject to change eventually, hopefully. But that's just it.
Yeah, well, hey, I'm sticking with Garrett products so far. It hasn't done me wrong. I've had success with it. We've had a couple issues, and the customer service has been great. You know, it's an American-made product, so what else more can you ask for?
Yeah, those guys are all Garrett, and I'm a Whites guy, and there's really been no quarrels with each other. We just get along, and I think we both stand behind our products.
I know we like to mess around with each other when we get up with the Relic Recoverist and Drew and all
Yeah,
that.
sure, yeah.
Our big group that, you know, it's always Team Garrett, Team Mind Lab, Team White, you know, back and forth, you know, we'll like
Yeah, right. I was the only I think I was the only Team Whites guy that day.
Yeah, that's right. But Drew he just now started with the AT Max. Did you see that?
Yeah.
So it's like his first time getting out there, and he's really talking about it. So you never.
He was.
Cool. Lost that. Oh, we lost that.
We lost Jeff.
So you guys seem like you're a lot of fun. You guys play practical jokes on each other a lot.
We're getting to that point.
Yeah, I think we've built up to that. Like, we're right on the verge of starting practical jokes. And
so who's ahead at this point?
Oof.
I honestly couldn't tell you. I mean, I think, I wouldn't say that we really started pulling jokes, practical jokes on each other. We met not that long ago.
Oh, okay.
Repo Man is actually married to my wife went to school with his wife back in the day, and that's actually how we met. So as our relationship has progressed, we definitely razz each other over the machines that we're using.
So
But there's no
practical jokes to come, huh?
Oh yeah.
It really works. I have some stuff set up, so these guys don't know about it yet.
Yeah, like what are each other's boundaries and stuff? Like where's the cutoff line for this guy? So I think we're finally figured that out. This summer's going to really tell a lot.
Oh
Yeah.
boy.
I just checked here. April 17th will be 1 year since Repo Man was
Okay, there it is.
So practical jokes, they're coming.
Oh, yeah. That should make some for some good video, anyways.
Yeah. So he's been in the band for a year now, huh?
Yeah, about a year. Yep.
Yep.
When I first tuned into these guys, I said, "Man, these properties are searching it." I said, "I know I've seen them on the roads." So I sent them a message one day, and they were like, "Yeah, man, we should get together." And that was it from there. So
He walked right over next door, and there he was.
yeah, right. Yeah, that was all it was.
A guy that used to be a part of this channel. Well, he was on one video. I'd love to bring him back. I know we had a few practical jokes on each other a lot. It was his, because I had known him for a while. He went by the name Crazy V. He was in episode 2. You remember Crazy V?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Crazy V. And he had me run 109 yards for a soda can. Told me he had a coin. I come right across this field, and he says, "Oh, look at this coin! Look at this coin!" I get down there, big old soda can sitting there in the hole. I ran 109 yards.
So how many times did you do that? How many times did he pull that one on you?
He pulled that one once, a few times. You know, he would say, "Oh, I got something," and I'd come over and there would be trash in the hole, or you know, something like that. Or, but you know, we kind of stopped meeting up, so that was the only practical joke that was ever featured on our channel so far. And,
I'll change that. Don't worry.
Oh yeah.
Something to look forward to. And something for you guys to worry about. Looks like.
Yeah. Yes.
Oh, we'll get him back. We'll get him back.
David Villa in the room, he has a cheap fortune hunter. At the end of each swing, I get a beep. What is it doing?
Oh, I know exactly what he's talking about. It's like when you get out to the far right or to the far left, right?
Yeah, but this one's one of the. Is it the bounty hunter? My bounty hunter.
Fortune hunter.
To do that.
He says fortune hunter, but.
Yeah, I'm looking for the fortune hunter to see what it might look like. I used to have that problem with my bounty hunter gold digger. I was never able to figure out what it was. I mean, I could only imagine the endless possibilities of what it could be.
You don't swing so far? I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not.
Stop a little short.
That line of detectors.
Yeah, I'm sure they all have their different quirks and whatever, you know, just like every prospecting piece of. Oh, wait. I think I got power back on. I got power back on. Well, I'm not going to stop now. I'll wait till after the show to unplug all the extension cords.
You might get unplugged. His generator might shut off on you now.
Well, it's hooked to their patio outlet.
Oh, is it?
It's one of those big permanent natural gas generics, you know. Their house was the only lidded house in the neighborhood. Okay. Good thing it wasn't the zombie apocalypse after a great meltdown. Everyone would be going there. But, well, that's good. Quite a bit late, Murphy. Jeez, we've... Yeah, definitely a good neighbor, Ron. I'm blessed to have very good neighbors. They heard the conversation, our guests and my partners. I'm sure they had a good chuckle.
Yeah.
When frantically panicking. It was Judy's idea to, hey, why don't you ask Steve? They have a generator. Thanks, Judy.
Let's see, any more questions?
My typewriter beeps at the end of the swing.
Yeah, I say just shorten your swing. Don't go all the way to the end.
Well, Jeff from MacGyver Muscle Machines, maybe ground balance adjustment or raising the coil at the end of each swing. I don't know. Just some guess.
Don't know.
Well.
Best we can do. Don't know.
Don't know. Sorry. All right. Ronald, did I give your question?
Here's another question. You go knocking on doors. How many people let you dig up their land versus don't want you to? In other words, I'm sure you get a lot more no's than yes, right?
It really depends on the day. I mean, if we were to go out on a weekday and we can drive around, of course, everyone's at work, but on a good day, we can get a lot more yeses than nos, I think.
We're pretty fortunate. We live in a pretty rural area. So like, the folks are really friendly on here. We definitely get some no's. Like, I kind of call it Yuppieville, but we got a couple like smaller town areas where the folks all have like, they own like, race horses and stuff. You can knock on them every day, and it's gonna be a big no. So we're like, the kids are like, "What about that one?" I'm like, "No, keep on driving. We're just I'm wasting my time."
And then there will be days when we can go out and get all no's. It really just depends on the day, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, like 50-50, and it's definitely about the approach of walking up to those doors, because I could understand if it was my house and somebody came in. It's one thing when one detectorist knocks on a door, and but you walk up to the door and you're like, "Hey, it's me, my 3 sons, and our buddy Repo Man here, and we'd like to dig 5 holes times 5 people about 20 more times in your yard."
We bought a repo. Brought a repo.
Yeah,
we brought the repo.
Yeah, it's definitely, if you're a beginner, you want to start out with family.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If somebody in your family has an old property, start there definitely, and then branch out from there. So.
Yeah.
Well, I know I've been. Oh, I'm sorry, Sean.
No, that's okay. I was gonna say, really cool places to go though, like parks that it's approved. You can always call the, your local, what is it, your municipal, whatever.
You and your parks.
Yeah, get permission for the parks. A lot of them aren't regulated, so you can go in. And then also even farm fields. Farmers really don't care too much in the off season if you're digging in their cornfield, because there's nothing growing. The winter wheat's an issue, but you can find an old home site in the middle of a farm field. That's great.
Yeah, and actually, like, this time of year is like the prime time for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, before they seed.
Right. They're out
Definitely.
and turning the dirt over.
Now, have you ever thought about looking at like NOAA's tornado maps for your state and see where tornadoes have gone through and work farmland around those tracks, tornado tracks?
I've never even heard of that up until you just mentioned.
Yeah.
No,
Good idea. What, to check that out?
Well, I've looked at it because we had an F4 go through Van Wert like 4 or 5 years ago and tore up a bunch of proper houses and a movie theater. And a F4 is a pretty big footprint, so I'm figuring, tornadoes track. They hit stuff flies.
Yeah.
It drops down a mile away or something, or a half mile or whatever. So,
when you think about it, when they do cleanups, they're not looking for that piece of jewelry. They're not looking for that. They're picking up half of houses and picking up the big stuff.
Yeah, true.
So that's a good thought.
We were at a site not too long ago, or repo, where you found your 2-cent piece. He found the gold ring and some other stuff. But that was the, Girl Seminary back in the 1800s. The property was built in the 1830s, and there was a huge platform where an old section of this building used to be. And one of the ladies who owned the property adjacent to it, they had built a museum there for, like, I guess the old ice, an ice company. And she came over to me and told me she gave me permission for their field as well, but also said, yeah, the missing portion of that building is from when a tornado had come through in like the 1830s, and they had to move all the girls out of the seminary school and up to the barn for about 6 months or so while they started doing some new construction on things. But that was the first property we had been on that was destroyed by a tornado in the 1800s. And as you went through that field, you could find red brick and miscellaneous, debris all over that field. They just had no place being, 7, 8 acres away.
That's also the same spot I got that 41 Indian head spill.
That is true.
Ah.
Oh, yeah, talking about.
That was actually a great property. So.
Oh, yeah,
See, and it could have been all tornado debris.
Right.
That's what it seemed like. I mean, I wouldn't have thought that until the lady told the story.
And that spill you're talking about could have been a coin purse that got swept away in the tornado.
That's probably
how many Indians were actually pulled from that spill?
Well, 41 from that whole area. That was
41.
Okay, not a purse, a bag.
Yeah.
41 was I actually kept telling these guys, I said, it's a roll out here. I said, there's 9 more out here somewhere.
9 more.
Yeah.
Hey.
Because I brought those tornado maps up, and you can find it on NOAA's website. And I'm like, wonder if I could get permission from these farmers to work these fields. But I was just a thought. Ronald, or one of our moderators and regulars on the show, has a question. I want to get it out of the way before he yells at me again and yells a question. What is the biggest field you guys have walked?
Go ahead.
That was when we were with Brian Ellen, digging 925 down there in Maryland. Biggest field I think I have ever seen. It was just fields everywhere, and then we look across the road far away, and I mean, I kid you not, I think I saw like 4 or 5 18-wheelers out there before we got in that field with combine running next to them across that whole field. I mean, those were massive.
I mean,
that site was awesome because, come to find out, what it turned out to be was an old trading post from an original settlement in southern Maryland. So the stuff that we were finding was not only just really old, but J-Hole actually found a 20 shilling weight from like the mid 1600s. So it's definitely an old site.
Ah. So do you guys go out looking for cellar holes and old wagon trails or anything like that? I mean, you specifically go out looking for places like that?
I think that's I think around here it's pretty difficult. I know I've come across at least one, but the New England area, they get all the cellar holes, the real nice cellar holes, because their areas, I guess, aren't as developed as around here. And I've come across 2 cellar holes. That was about it. We have seen some wagon tracks though.
Yeah.
That's because they say that's a good place too in those areas. People dropping stuff, throwing stuff off. But you don't specifically look for those places.
No, they're not so popular around here. I mean, like up in New England, they have a lot of woods and mountains and stuff like that where you can dig up old maps and find these places. But around here, like Redneck said, it's rather developed around here anymore, and you can find little oases here and there where you might get lucky and find an old property, but it's so developed around here anymore. Luckily, some of the old farmhouses get restored and stuff like that, so those are the ones that we're lucky enough to hit up.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Anybody else got any more questions?
Call in, people, call in. Call in. Phones lines are open now.
Call now.
Call now.
I already asked you about your bucket list.
Oh, yeah.
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 Scariest time, scariest finds, biggest fields. How do you pick the spot of an old homestead out of a field? How do you know when you're at that spot? What signs are you looking for in that big field? That was asked by Kim Casperson.
Yeah, you're after you look at your old map and you can see that house site on the map, whether it's whatever map you have. Sometimes it's a square or a dot.
Right.
Once you find that area, go to the field after you get permission, of course. When you turn on the metal detector, turn it on all metal. At least that's what I do. Start listening for iron sounds in that area. You'll know you're kind of getting towards the footprint of the house.
Yeah.
Zero
discrimination.
Keep your eyes on the dirt, because you'll see pieces of either brick, you'll see
Pottery.
pottery, yeah,
Ceramics.
glass, and then a good one if you're in a really old area is oyster shells.
Oh yeah.
Because that's what they used to fertilize their fields and lawns and stuff with, was oyster shells. So that's what you gotta look for when you're in the fields.
Well, yeah, sometimes too when you're out in the woods, and you might think you may be close to an old home site, or you just don't know, and you're kicking tires, killing time. Setting your machine to like a zero discrimination sort of setting, wherever that would be on the machine you're using, and just walking until the thing starts singing. Once it starts singing, you know something happened in that area, and then start looking.
Right. Okay. You ever use online historic aerials? That website? You ever go there?
I personally haven't.
Oh, that's a good site for looking for old buildings and stuff in your area. It goes back to the late 1800s, or no, not 1800, late. I think back to the 30s, I believe, where there shows buildings.
Doggone it. Ronald, that wasn't the thing to do, buddy. That wasn't the thing to do. Sorry, sorry.
And it's called historic aerials.
Yeah, it's NETR, online historic aerials.
Okay.
And you can pair it up with Google Earth, so you can overlay, or what it does a split screen. So as you travel along,
right,
it shows the current map, and it follows with the whatever date you have that map set on. So you can find out where old houses are, or what used to be on that piece of property. It's a pretty cool site. So, I'm sure there's a lot of them out there. You gotta find them.
I think I actually have heard of it. I just never really perused it all.
Yeah.
Well, I use Google Earth a lot for looking for spots that might have gold in them, you know. And you can go through their history, and they go back. They go back.
They go back a bit. Yeah, they go back a little bit.
Yeah. But yeah, you know, and because I like to look at a certain spot during different times of the year, see what the rivers and creeks have been doing in that area.
Yeah, true.
Drought. But I found that it shows cellars, it shows buildings, schools. I found a field that now has a lot of shopping centers and stuff around it. But in the field, it used to be a small town. But the town is gone, and now it's field.
Yeah, that sounds a lot like the property we live on now. Right down, it's basically a field now, but down towards the front of the property where the road is used to be like an old carriage factory, and there was a seminary school, maybe a little bit further down from that. And what was going on down here to the right? Carriage factory. There was the undertaker. It was sort of like a village.
Yeah.
Right.
A village back in the day, and now it's just fields and maybe a couple more modern homes.
Yeah. The area that we live in was it was sold by William Penn to one of his I guess distant cousins, and it was just called Manor. It was called the Manor property, and this was like 15,000 acres we're talking back before it was all developed. And he had slowly started letting Irish immigrants in here and selling plots to the Irish immigrants, who kind of turned this into a small little working town with a post office, a church, little coffin shop, carriage shop, undertaker, all the necessities.
Yeah, those are the kind of places you're able to find. I was really surprised that was there, and I haven't gone on the property yet. I've seen a lot of places I like to go to, but I just haven't gone that for or taken the time, actually, I might.
I'm sure glad now with the internet compared to what it was like in the 90s, Back then when I did my research for prospecting, it'd be going to BLM and buying microfiche, and I bought a microfiche reader, and you go through all that. And okay, we have a phone call from Ronald. He's from Minnesota. Ain't that how they say it, Ronald? Minnesota. So how you doing, Ronald?
Minnesota.
Hey, Ronald.
I'm doing good. Thank you very much.
Hey, Ronald.
Hey, Ron. Hey.
You have a question for the Backwoods? You have a question for the Backwoods?
I
Okay.
thought of two questions, if I can ask two questions.
We'll think about it.
Your favorite or scariest ghost story, if you have any ghost stories. And then the other is the metal detecting your primary passion of gold prospecting? Well, you're not really gold prospecting. You're more like relic or coin prospecting. But do you do any gold prospecting or you know other type of passion compared? Like on my prospecting venture, I have high banking and panning and river sluicing and things like that.
So, Repo Man, you got any ghost stories? I got one in mind, but if you got one, go ahead.
I'll shoot one away. It's not detecting related, but with the wife and I, we go to Gettysburg quite often, and we always like to do the ghost tours out there, and I think some of that stuff is for real. We've had some neat experiences out in Gettysburg. As far as gold prospecting, in this area, I don't think it's that hot of a topic or really prosperous thing to do in this area. Although I have heard stories of some gold being found. So I've never really attempted it myself, but it is what it is.
And we have a friend that lives in Pennsylvania, and they do have some gold there, but
okay,
they come to Ohio though.
That's mostly because of the regulations on gold prospecting and mineral extractions from whatever land you have.
Yeah, see, like where I'm at in Minnesota, there's not much, whole lot of gold. There's still some small stuff here, but I have to drive many hours just to go to get some gold, like in Wisconsin or Ohio or any place like that. I have to just drive to go prospecting, and by the time you get there, after you drive 20 hours, you don't feel like prospecting. You feel like having a beer and relaxing a little bit. You don't feel like prospecting at all. Just keep that in mind if you go on any long trips and you are tired after you get there. That's normal, So, but I enjoy when I go to Gold Rush Days, which I'll be able to go this year. Last year I didn't get to go. I was busy moving, so I got a house finally in Minnesota here. First house I got here.
Congratulations.
So interesting. I haven't had a chance to really do any prospecting with the metal detector yet. We have mostly snow in the yard now, about 2 or 3 feet.
Oh wow!
Oh wow!
Yeah.
Seems like you need to change your latitude, buddy.
Yeah, I need to go farther south where it's sandy. I don't mind if it's sandy. This snow business, I had to clean off my driveway again, and that snow was heavy and wet, and my back hurts.
I'm glad you've been keeping all that snow up there. We've had our share, but it's sure been a cold winter.
Oh yeah.
Now it's raining.
Yeah. Lovely.
We're supposed to get another snowstorm here this week, I think. Hopefully it won't be too bad.
Well,
but anyway,
keep it up there, buddy.
Yeah,
keep it up there.
I'll get off the line here and let someone else call in. And thank you for having this line open and having Skype available. This makes it a lot easier for people to call in and be part of the conversation. So appreciate you guys being on the show, your special guest. And great show, guys. Thank you.
Thanks for calling in, Ronald.
Thanks for calling. See you at Gold Rush Days.
I'm a radio guy, actually, Earth Radio, ERT. Can I tell him, Ed?
Oh, I don't know.
Oh.
Oh, come on, Ed.
Make a deposit in the tip jar, buddy. Yeah, go ahead. Go for it, Ronald.
I always ask Ed permission if I can tell him. He always tells me I can. But I do ask permission before I start sharing my channel. It's just common courtesy.
Go ahead. Shout it out.
www.ertradio.com. That's my website that I made, my own website. And then I have Earth Radio on YouTube, which is my channel I use here, which is why I changed my name to Earth Radio so I can get more views, more recognition on this particular channel as I'm trying to build it. I do a lot of music and science stuff and Bible stuff, all kinds of different things, and prospecting stuff. So make sure to check that out if you like. If you like a handful of a grab bag of stuff and enjoy seeing all kinds of different stuff, then you'll like my channel. So if not, then that's okay too. But I hope that you do like it and that you can maybe follow along, and I'm willing to help support anybody. I can put anyone's link on my page, on my website, and if you have a link or if you have a website or anything you want me to share on my page, I'm more than happy to do that for nothing. I do it for free. I do it because I enjoy whatever passion anyone else is enjoying. So I enjoy to help spread the word and news and the passion of prospecting or metal detecting, whatever it is that you do. So I enjoy sharing, anyone's stories. So if you have a new story, or if you have like I said, a website you wanted to share, I'm more than happy to do that. So,
all right. Well, thanks, Ronald, for coming in.
Yep.
Good.
Answering your questions. Appreciate it.
Yep, you're welcome. Yeah, and everyone have a great week, and hopefully we can get out there and start doing some digging in the river.
Okay.
Yeah, sounds good.
I hear you, brother. I hear you.
All right. Everyone have a great night. We'll talk to you later.
See you, Ron.
Good night, Ronald. Thank you.
Buddy, Ronald, I can't pronounce his last name.
Tolliver.
Tolliver. Yeah, Tolliver. Ronald.
Ron.
Ronald.
He was asking about a ghost story, but
Yes.
Jacob here, we were both at our property, but he's got a cool story I asked him to mention just because it was pretty cool.
I've got
Go for it.
many ghost stories now since reenacting, but this one pertains to metal detecting. And we had gotten permission for a place, door knocking, and they said it was from 1819. And we were walking around. I found a silver spoon, and we just kind of left after that because it was too muddy. And a friend from school had told me that his friend's parents owned an old brothel in the area, and he showed me pictures of it. And I was like, "Wow, that's the place we just got permission for." And he said, "Oh, have you found the dead body?" I was like, "That dead body?" And he said, "Yeah, back in the 1800s at this brothel, one of the women working there, I guess, some of the men refused to pay her, and they
Housekeeping.
They killed her and buried her in the swamp. And apparently the guy that owns the place now claims he has occasionally seen a woman walking around in the swamp.
Well, see, that part's the twist, though, because Jacob tells me this story, and then it takes me a day or two to remember having the conversation with the family on their front porch when I originally got permission. She's like, "Yeah, but my husband, he's seen something out in that field," and I'm thinking, okay, that's okay. Or he's seen somebody, like a woman, a figure in the swamp. Didn't even click that a couple days later when he tells me his friend's story that, I heard the place is haunted because, there was a woman who was killed there. Didn't even click. And I'm going, oh my gosh, now I'm really freaked out. Maybe it's an urban legend thing. I don't know. Then the story's gotten bigger, but that was the first I heard of it. It's only a couple miles away. The family's seeing some stuff. So it was just really interesting.
Yeah, that was the first I heard of that one.
So are you gonna kind of, since you're not finding anything but pull tabs, you can maybe go do some ghost hunting?
What's that?
Since all you're finding is pull tabs, gonna go look for ghosts?
Nope. I'm glad to go look for ghosts.
Yeah, you are, though.
Yeah, I'm all set with that.
Yeah. Gold Prospectors just joined us. How you doing tonight?
Yeah. Hey, Brian. All the rest that showed up, we had some first timers, like the Crazy Monkey came in and visited.
Crazy Monkey.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's a dance instructor, and I watched several YouTube creator videos for tips and tricks for producing and stuff and editing and whatnot.
I thought you were going to say for your dancing.
Try to up my game, and I ran across, she made a comment on one of my videos, and I'm like, oh, cool, I've never seen this person. So I checked out her channel, and she had some cooking stuff on there and messing in the, I think it was a video dancing in the kitchen, doing dishes or something. And she seemed really cool, so I subscribed, and she was live earlier, and she asked me what I was doing, and I'm like, oh, just getting ready for the show I'm having. It starts at 8. She said she might swing by. Glad she did. Thank you.
So yeah, since you guys are out in the fields and the woods.
Jess, wait. What? Hold on 1 second. For those of you who are arriving late, we have with us, as you know, Toledo, Jess, and Dano. But for our guests, we have the Backwoods boys. They're a metal detecting family plus one that search for coins and relics throughout PA so far. I'll get to a question after I have a hard commercial break I need to grab, and we can get that out of the way. So after our commercial break, we'll get to Jesse's question and my question and whoever wants to call questions. So
actually, it's Dano's question. I should let Dano ask it.
Okay, well, Dano.
What am I supposed to ask now?
Yeah.
I don't know. Should have wrote it down.
I got it.
We'll be right back after this word from one of our sponsors. Oh my goodness.
Adventure, mystery, discovery. Gold panning is more than a search for beautiful rocks. Panning is a journey taking you to amazing places all over the world. It is an experience for all ages, bringing families together, fulfilling a sense of excitement when life has grown too dull. The gold claw pan makes it easier to take part in the journey than ever before. This expertly designed pan is made for any skill level and age. All you need is an explorer's heart and the passion for discovery. Begin your family's gold story now. Order your gold claw pan today and see where the adventure takes you.
Someone forgot to mute.
I knew it.
Everything come out all right.
I already had Carl on my Skype, I take it. Oh, Carl, sorry, I gotta hang up on you.
Okay.
I put them on hold. Call back, and I'll bring you into the dock.
Okay.
I hit the wrong button. Sorry. Did it again. Someone called again. Carl from Ireland called, guys. There he is.
Call back.
There he is. We have Carl from Ireland on the phone. How you doing, Carl?
Hi, good. All good.
Excellent, excellent. You're up late.
Well, yeah, no, I work till about. I finish work about 2 o'clock in the morning. So, my job
You're
involves
just winding down then.
exactly. Yeah, My job involves working with computers, but supporting the people in the US. So it's they're only finishing work now, so it's good good turnaround. So yeah.
So how are you doing over on the other side of the pond?
Yeah, good. We've got some decent gold. I would call it decent gold. I mean, my total gold for last year was less than a gram, but they were quite large pieces, I would call them. So, you guys might refer to some of the pieces as a picker, or fly poop. I'd refer to it as a nugget. So we've different different ideas of what big gold is, but yeah, no, we're doing pretty good. It's I do love the idea of the everyone prospecting and kind of sharing knowledge and learning new ways of dealing with things. Like when I first came across clay, for example, I just looked at it and said, no, I'll move on and forget about it. Whereas now I go actively looking for clay, because I know when I find a good clay layer, especially with hardpack, that's when you find some really, really good gold, because everything's kind of conglomerates together. So I think it's very good to be able to kind of share knowledge and learn from other people.
Right, very true.
Mm-hmm.
Before you get to your question, I got a question for you, because I know you actually won some pay dirt when we had Bill Brewer on from Carolina Prospectors. How'd you like it?
It was very good. I have to say I was rooting through it. Going at one stage, I thought, did somebody just scoop up some sand from the beach and throw it in a bag? And oh no, there's clay here. And then I was looking at there was decomposing granite and going, where is this stuff coming from? It was very, very detailed. I haven't gone through the whole bag as yet. I probably set up the banjo pan as a recirculating system, and that's how I tend to kind of refine down stuff. But it was very very interesting material. It seems to be a collection of everything in all the types of sand and gravel you could possibly get.
Oh yeah, lots of mica, and you could probably even find some gemstones in that stuff.
Yeah, that's possible. I mean, I started finding gemstones there myself when I was out digging recently, and when I brought them to a geologist and they said they were garnets, I thought, oh yes, that's it. I never need to work again. And then I realized that they have to be like 5 carat or something before they're worth $10 a carat. I'm like, oh, okay, forget it.
Right. You have a question for our guest tonight?
Yeah. So I suppose one question. I don't know if it would be related to what you guys use. Have either of you ever used the Falcon MT20? For finding the gold within the quartz seam.
No.
Yeah, me personally, no. I'm not even familiar with the product.
Yeah. No. I had looked at metal detecting from the point of view of looking for gold within a hard rock seam. I suppose it would be I suppose an advantage to be able to know. I know that when I used to have there was one I had, the White Skullmaster GMT, and that was good for, I suppose, checking the iron levels of the ground. Would there be any particular detectors, I suppose, at the kind of lower end that would be good in that regard, and I suppose checking for the iron levels within the ground?
Charles, I think that's probably a good question for you. I mean,
as far as the whites goes, the GMT is not bad. Even the MXT series isn't bad either, as far as that goes.
Because I suppose, I mean, like we can, you can do as many. You could do 100 test pans on ground in a day, but if you can, I suppose, find the iron zones, you can find where the heavies are accumulating. That can certainly, I suppose, kind of reduce the searching zone, and it kind of increase the the amount of gold you would get. So that I suppose that would certainly be one of the things you would certainly add to your list of tools in your bag, so to speak.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah, true, and like I'm not a white spokesman at all, so but yeah, I could see where you're going with that.
Yep.
The Falcon, it's a good device. I used to have one before they came out with the new model.
Right.
Oh, that was decades ago. But it's good for picking up fine, small gold.
Okay.
Well, don't you have to be pretty close to it, though? I mean...
Yes, it's like a pinpointer.
Right. I remember when I was researching it, because I was looking at it myself, that was the one thing that kind of steered me away from it, was that it's only going to pick up when it's really close to it. I mean, because it is basically a pinpointer with a big box hanging off of it. You know, with all electronics are in a box, and you have the pinpointer, and it just I'll dig.
Yeah, but it's like the AT Gold or the Testro Scorpion or something. I believe that's their gold machine. Or, like it's designed for very small gold. And if it sounds off, I believe going towards it, it's gold, and pulling away from it, it's a ferrous metal. Am I correct still?
Yeah,
on
I
that,
think it's usually if you're pulling away, it's usually iron, and if you're coming towards, then it's then it's gold. So that's the best way of determining it. Certainly, I've never actually done any kind of hard rock or alluvial gold working, because a lot of we've a lot of restrictions here in Ireland in terms of what we can and can't do. It really, unless you're a mining corporation and unless you have a few $1 million behind you, you can't use anything that has a motor or has a pump or anything electrical. So if I was to go out and do any hard rock work, I'd have to bring some form of jaw crusher to crush the rock down. So it'd be an awful lot of work to run through. So it would be nice to have something like that to be able to, because analyze what rocks do and don't contain gold. So I'm not going to crushing the wrong ones all day.
Isn't that's still old technology now, isn't it?
Well, I mean, yeah. Well, I've never actually. I had seen them a while back, but I've never actually used them. So it's one of those things that you see and think, ooh, that could work.
I know, that was my thought. Oh, that looks like that would work really well,
Yeah. Because you don't want to do what most prospectors do when you first start out. You see something used by 3 people, and you think, yes, this is it. I'm going to be rich. I'll buy 3 of them tomorrow, and suddenly you spend $300 in the space of a few months, and you have loads of toys, and none of them work. But yeah, you have to get the right stuff,
Right. And you don't know what it is until you actually start using some of that stuff and realize, well, this is not what I want because it's not doing what I wanted to do. Well, I've tried other things.
I mean, exactly. I mean, the thing is that over the years I bought certain things. Like I bought a blue ball at one stage, thinking that this would be the best way to clear out the separate the gold, and leave it sitting for 5 hours and come back to it and it's still going. Whereas if I set the banjo pan up on the recirculating system, within less than 5 minutes, I've cleaned down to 90% down to the gold. So again, there are some things that the banjo pan is, was it $70 it cost me including shipping, whereas the blue ball was nearly 150. So it's sometimes you think one thing is going to be great and it's not, and something else is not great. It turns out fantastic. So I suppose it's just down to kind of choice, but it would be nice to have something that kind of pinpoint where the gold is, rather than just simply digging away and working through methodically.
Right. Well, and the one thing that I've learned doing this is that you really need to learn your equipment.
Yeah.
Whether whether it's actually a good piece of equipment or not actually depends on how well you learn it, how well you learn to use that piece of equipment. It's like a metal detector. You know, if you don't learn how to use your metal detector, then it doesn't matter what you pay for it. You're not going to find anything, you know?
Exactly.
So, I don't know how you guys feel about that. I know, you know, everybody has their own particular brand of metal detector, but if they don't know how to use it, doesn't matter what you use. So, if you do know how to use a metal detector, or even a piece of gold mining equipment,
I
even
was
though
gonna
it could be
say, like you always say, Jesse, learn your tool.
learn your tool.
Yeah.
You know, a wrench ain't no good if you don't know how to turn it.
Yeah.
So, any other questions for our guest here tonight?
No, I'm fine.
Yeah, it's cool to have someone from the other side of the world call in here. And
Yeah, it is.
It really is. You know.
Even though we weren't going to get our down under lowdown from David, I was still kind of expecting a call from him and a hypothetical question.
There, Bob Dip says, "Oh, magnet on a string." Yeah, there's magnet fishing too. I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah, I suppose that raises another question. Is I've often seen people putting in they take a neodymium magnet, put in a lot of black sand, and then just run gold bearing gravel through that with no riffles, just simply hoping that the black sand will catch the gold. Any idea, does any of that work, or?
Well, I'll tell you what. Look up. There's a YouTube guy named Mr.
Thessalonian, yeah.
Thessalonian.
Okay.
He built a sluice box with
magnet
magnets.
riffles.
Right. There's actually nothing in the box but the box itself. And he has some rare earth magnets taped to the bottom of it. Riffle, you know, across the bottom. And he run across the material across that, and it catches gold.
Do you have anything for any of the Backwoods boys? Carl, any questions for them?
No, I think that's pretty much everything, George.
All right. Thank you for calling. They're our guests, and I feel kind of bad because we're leaving them out of the loop a little.
Yeah.
No.
Okay, sure. I'll see you in the chat.
All right. Thank you very much for calling, Carl. Anytime. Glad you did.
Bye-bye.
Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for talking. Yeah, I mean, you know, we're primary gold prospectors, you know, and we hope to get you involved in it. It's fun too.
Oh yeah, I bet you guys would fall right into it. We're like I've said before, in our family, in our community, we're actually part of the same community.
Right.
You guys and us, like band of the hand, each finger, you know, bottle hunters, arrowhead hunters, coin shooters, nugget shooters, prospectors, even crazy lamp ladies like Jocelyn and antiquing and stuff. After our own treasures, even Jesse, he goes auction hunting and a lot of antique shops and stuff.
Yeah, all the flea markets and stuff. You never know what you find in these places. You know?
We're all part of the same community, and that's why I've been reaching out to people in the metal detecting finger of the hand, you know, and saying, I talked to my buddies Jesse and Dano. We want to mix it up more with people throughout the whole community, right, Jesse?
Right. It's all treasure.
All like-minded people doing the same thing.
Yeah.
Your treasure is coins. Ours is gold. Little pieces of
digging
gold.
in a creek and shiny rocks.
Yeah.
No, I think that's cool. I mean, I felt bad. I really wasn't really sure how to like answer the gentleman's question, but like I'm very interested in what you guys do. I didn't even know it was a thing.
Dude.
Oh, it's a huge community.
It's a huge thing.
Yeah,
There's
well,
actually,
here.
believe it or not, there's actually a modern day gold rush going on.
Oh yeah.
That's what it sounds
Because what we realized, or what's been realized, is that during the gold rush, those guys, the majority of the gold they got was big nuggets.
Yeah, they got the easy pickings.
But that's not the majority of the gold.
No.
That's just a small portion of what gold is really out here. Now, in your area, our area, we're in Ohio, Indiana, Illinois, all the way across the top of the United States. That gold, for the most part, is glacial gold that was brought down by the glaciers. You know, so what we find we call fly poop. You know, it's really tiny dust.
Right, dust.
Yeah, and it takes, you know, a lot of moving the dirt to get a little bit of gold, but it's still new wealth, you know. So you make a gram over the whole season. That's a brand new $45 out in the economy, you know.
Right. Well, depending on current gold prices,
right,
of course.
you know. So, but it's like I said, it's new wealth. It's never been seen before, and there's a ton of it out there. You just gotta get it.
Well, what's typical for a person who, say, an average enthusiast who goes out and spends an entire season, or in their off time, or a little bit of free time to get available to go out and do something like that? What seems to be the average catch per season?
Okay, it's hard to say because a lot of variables, where you're at, but the biggest variable is how much are you willing to put into it yourself.
Right.
So whatever you put into it is what you're going to get back. If you're in an area that's got, you know, lots of chunky gold, and, you know, big piece. To me, a big piece would be something the size of
bigger than fly poop.
You know,
we call small gold, really small gold, fly poop or nap poop. So
and there's some places that have what they call pickers. Those are pieces big enough to pick up. So
Ohio has that too.
Yeah, we have that too, but that's not the majority of our gold. You know.
No, nowhere. It's mostly fine gold.
So depending on how much work you put into it, you know, and your ability to do enough research to put you on the gold in the first place, that's what you're going to get, you know.
But here's the great thing about it.
Right, as Dano says, the real gold, the
friends you make,
that's people you meet
along the way.
Definitely
You get to hang out with along the way, just like you guys. I mean, you know, you run into people that are like-minded, looking for the same stuff, and you have a camaraderie. Yeah. And that's worth more than that silver dime, you know. So that's what that's about. And
like you, Sean, you could go out, buy a $8 gold pan, a $2 snuffer bottle, and take your hand spade and start prospecting around. You know, there's some people that just enjoy prospecting, no small scale mining or mining at all. They just like going looking for where the deposits are and just panning. And then maybe you get bit, you buy a sluice box, then you could do some river sluicing, which would be you're moving more material, so then it would be technically mining. But you know, for just $20, you could be out on the stream looking for a little flash in your pan. But we have a hypothetical question for you in the room. I guess Ron from Ron for the Hills Mining. Actually, he makes a very high quality sluice that Gold Rush California, Adam and I are doing some beta testing for Ron with now. Hopefully this weekend I'll be out on the river with it, Ron. I just got it in the mail. It's awesome. So far. Looks awesome. But I'm going to up the ante on this question, though, Ron. Just a hypothetical question. If someone were to offer you $1 million to never go metal detecting again, would you take it?
No.
I would.
I would.
Guys, no, I would quit.
Yeah, there's so many times I've been out and been frustrated. I think the $1 million would tip me over the edge.
I ain't quitting. I'm finding $10 million floor.
You're gonna be the one that finds that big hoard of Templar gold in some field in the New World. Listen.
I'm the one solving the Curse of Oak Island.
We already solved it. We already solved it.
It's wood.
It's wood.
It's
wood.
It's wood.
It's wood.
We won't know nothing till after 100 episodes anyway. So until then, they'll find wood. I'm sure Dennis Dayton is watching it now going, doggone it, all they're finding is wood.
No, it's not on anymore. They're doing another one.
Oh, yeah,
Civil War
gold, silver, whatever. Yeah. All right.
So do you guys ever research looking for like lost treasure or anything like that? You ever thought about doing that?
Well, there was about a week or two where I was on that kind of kick, and then I just let it go because I wasn't getting into it. But there was a local gang around here.
Oh yeah.
In the mid to late 1900s. Around here, they're called the Johnston Gang, and supposedly they buried or threw their money somewhere around here, and I guess one of the members of this family gang escaped prison, and they thought he was looking for the treasure and all that. So, of course, me being the avid treasure hunter that I am, I thought maybe I could find it. And gave up.
Well, this is all legit though. Like it's not just like urban. Like if you've ever heard of the movie At Close Range, it was like Sean Penn and Christopher Walken. He did a video. He did this movie basically based on this area, and this family like buried a ton of money somewhere. And Norman Johnson escaped from prison about 25 years ago after being in jail for about 20 years. And he didn't know where to go. Everything had changed so much he couldn't even pump gas and put gas into a car. He wasn't sure how to operate the pumps. He did a lot of hiding and eating out of people's gardens, but he could never get to what he was looking for, and ultimately just kind of surrendered. He was so exhausted and tired and didn't know anything about this world that had changed so much in those 25 years he was already locked up for. But it's here right here in the area if the developer hasn't found it yet, and just kept it hush hush.
Right. Well, would you tell the world if you found it? No, I would.
I
know, right? So some of these treasure stories and stuff could be very true, and it's just been found. Just nobody knows about it.
Yeah.
Still doesn't mean you should look for it. But that takes a lot of research. I mean, I've done a little myself, but it takes a ton of research. And then we had a guest on here that was all about that.
Hutton Pulitzer.
Right.
Jovan Hutton Pulitzer, the commander. Ever hear of him?
No.
Well,
very interesting fellow.
Yeah, very interesting dude. He after he kind of we listened to we listened to him that night, talked to him. There's a lot of research that that's involved, stuff that you wouldn't even think about, you know. So it's a really hard, although interesting, and I'd love to find the buried treasure. Who wouldn't? I don't know that I'd be able to put in that kind of time on research. Maybe you, somebody else. I'll go dig for gold. I know where it's at. So that's not one of your things. Just coins, huh? Just the coin.
Well, they never know. They might, maybe not Repo Man. Since if someone gave him $1 million, he'd walk away.
Well, they all would.
I'm getting older now, you know. These young guys got a ways to go.
I think it's one of those hobbies that kind of it starts in one place, and I know, like for Jacob, you know, he suggested something I was thinking about this summer, like, you know, for the last couple summers doing the metal detecting thing, and now we're talking about trying to do some underwater stuff. You know, it just kind of grows and escalates and evolves into other things. But this area is pretty rich in, you know, stories and history, and we're right along the Chesapeake Bay, or right near the Chesapeake Bay, so there's all to do there. But who knows where it'll end up.
Yeah, I mean, I plan on metal detecting on the moon one day.
Well, hey. That's cool. Why not? I'd go for Mars myself, but, you know, at your age. Well, it's getting there.
Yeah. I don't want my timer stomping on the kitchen floor. Right. It would have been a lot sooner if the lights, if I didn't totally lose power. Thanks again to my neighbors next door for letting me steal their power. Would love to have you guys on again, maybe next year or something, if you'd be willing. It's been a great pleasure. Thank you for putting up with Murphy. He's the foster brother I hate.
That's the worst Murphy we ever had this time.
Oh man!
Yeah, but we pulled it off. The show went
It still
on.
happened. That's right.
Murphy
All
went as far to get your whole town.
Yeah, well, at least this side of town.
Right.
What was funny, the neighbor across the street, their lights were on just west, and our side was dark. It's like, oh my God, really? And took you long enough, light people, but it's all right. The check's in the mail. No, I'll do that when I'm unplugging and rolling up my cords, Jaron. All right, everybody. Thank you very much, Backwoods boys. If you like, hold on after I close. That's up to you. Everybody, thank you all very much. It's because of you out there we do what we do here.
Maybe not as well as we like it to be, but hey, it's fun anyway.
We're getting there. Hey, this is a low budget production after all.
It's not scripted, it's off the cuff.
Yeah.
That's right. It's definitely live, not scripted. We're not watching Gold Rush.
Right. Oh, hey, before we go though, I forgot to mention something. Our friend Spike Littlejohn, after the show last week, his wife fell and hurt herself. We wish her a happy recovery, or a quick recovery. Get better.
Yeah, everyone keep her in your thoughts and prayers. It's always a good thing. Hope she gets well soon. Spike.
And our buddy John Shaw's wife. She's taking her first steps today.
Oh, yeah. Rehab. And
I just wanted to get that out there. So now we can go.
MacGyver Muscle Machine says, thanks, Backwoods boys. Hope you find a lot. Good night, everybody.
Thank you,
Good
guys.
night, Jeff. Good night, everybody. Thank you
All right,
all very much for
Night,
joining us and hanging in there with our technical difficulties tonight. So until then, may you always have a flash in your pan.
You know what he's going to say next.
Maybe one day too, we'll meet you on the river.
Night,
Good
everybody.
night.
See you guys.
Good night.
Good night. Thank you.
Good night, Jess.
Thanks for chumming.
Dan.
Amen.
Backwoods boys.
Night, Ed.
John boys. Mary Lou.
Adios, guys.
Am I still on TV? Good. I'm trying to figure out all these buttons on the keys and stuff.
Shit.